We know the reasons Abraham Lincoln was a great president. He freed the slaves, saved the Union, and gave more than his share of great speeches. But greatness isn't perfection, and as president, Lincoln made one titanic mistake. He brought Andrew Johnson to national prominence, a man who single-handedly betrayed Lincoln's legacy and who by far was the worst president the Oval Office ever saw. Let me explain. A tailor-turned-slaveholder, Johnson, whose lack of learning fueled an inferiority complex, served 5 terms in the House of Representatives before winning election as the pro-slavery governor of Tennessee. He was in the Senate when the war started, and he stuck with the Union, even as Lincoln's war to save the country became a war to free the slaves. In 1862, Lincoln appointed him military governor of Tennessee, where he would sit, the most prominent Southern Unionist in the country, until 1864, when Lincoln would bring him on the ticket as vice president. But first, a little background. Lincoln's previous VP, Hannibal Hamlin, was a loyal anti-slavery Republican, but he was from Maine and Lincoln was in dire political straits. The war was ending, and he was looking to project future unity with a Southerner, a Democrat, and someone with experience as a military governor to aid Reconstruction. Johnson was perfect. The Lincoln-Johnson ticket ran, won, the South surrendered on April 9th, and the war was over. A week later, Lincoln was killed by a Confederate assassin. At this point, Johnson, otherwise undistinguished in public life, could have carried out Lincoln's will, a forgiving but firm rebuilding with political rights and maybe land reform for freed slaves, and strict requirements of former Confederates. Instead, the Tennesseans sided with the South. It wasn't a shock. The former governor was a bone-deep white supremacist. Yes, he opposed the South, but that didn't mean he thought blacks were political equals. He wanted rapid reconciliation with a quick return to the antebellum status quo, with whites in as much control as possible. And so, with the Republican Congress in recess, he did all he could do to force freed slaves back into servitude. When unreconstructed Confederates took charge of state governments, he left them. When they passed black codes, the precursor to Jim Crow, he let them. He pardoned Confederate soldiers en masse, and even pardoned 3 of John Wilkes Booth's co-conspirators. When it came back to session, Congress tried to reverse Johnson's white supremacist rampage. In retaliation, the petty, vengeful Johnson fired Republicans from federal government and vetoed every civil rights bill he could, with absurd claims that equal treatment was unfair. The Civil Rights Bill of 1866, said Johnson in his veto message, established for the security of the colored race safeguards which go indefinitely beyond any the general government has ever provided for the white race. The distinction of race and color is by the bill made to operate in favor of the colored against the white race. That's right. In fact, the real racists are Republicans who want to protect black rights. Johnson's actions amounted to implicitly condoning a wave of white terrorism across the South. Freed slaves were met with assassination, arson, riots, and indiscriminate violence. Schools were destroyed, farms were burned, and innocent people, white and black, were killed in the streets. By the end of 1866, it was clear blacks needed protection. Johnson wouldn't lift a finger. Eventually, the president's behavior caught up with him. When he dismissed Secretary of War Edwin Stanton, Congress retaliated with impeachment. Under the Tenure of Office Act, Johnson couldn't remove a cabinet official without Senate approval. Johnson was impeached, but he wasn't removed. The Senate failed by 1 vote. Johnson would stay in office and continue to use his power to empower white supremacists and do everything he could to thwart congressional Reconstruction. Thanks to Johnson, the anti-black violence and terrorism of Reconstruction was worse than it should have been, and this violence would lead to Northern exhaustion, weakening the project and empowering the South's white supremacists to take full control. Andrew Johnson was impeached and reviled, but in a way, he was a success. He pledged to protect white supremacy, and he did it. His actions were a near irrevocable blow to Reconstruction, and set the stage for Jim Crow and the reign of terror that ruled the Black South for the century between Reconstruction and the Civil Rights Movement. And so, thanks Andrew Johnson, wherever you are. You did a hell of a job.